This video is about two NBA owners, both white, both bigoted, one extremely stupid. Their names, Donald Sterling, Ted Stepian. Who is Ted Stepian? He's the man who bought the Cleveland Cavaliers in 1980 and publicly said the reason the team is not drawing very well is that they play in an area outside of Cleveland called Richfield, largely white, and the white residents wanted to see white players. What?
Yesterday and today, Cleveland made national news again because a man was up on top of Terminal Tower throwing things at people down below. The things were softballs, and the stunt was part of the Terminal Tower birthday celebration. But a couple of people got hurt. Now, the man guiding those missiles was Ted Stepien, self-made millionaire, new owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers. He's with us live tonight from his downtown nightclub. Mr. Stepien, you have to know that some people say you're kind of a strange fellow, and yesterday was just the latest proof of this.
Well, I can't say it was a strange thing, Jeff. I was asked by the people conducting the promotion to take part because the Cleveland Indians baseball players didn't want to participate, so I merely did them what I considered a favor. Then no one really told me what the exact situation was because I was very unfortunate because I played a lot of softball and I felt I could do what they wanted me to do is get the ball down to a player to catch the ball, and they told me that I should throw the ball 90 feet, which was correct. So when I threw the first ball, it was too far. Then
you couldn't really see where it was going.
No, I was so far up, Jeff, it was really scary.
He actually publicly said the following: I feel that whites should have a position in the athletic world. Sometimes they've given it up. Professional sports in general would gain greater respect if whites competed more with blacks in athletics as much as blacks want to compete more in the business world, end of quote. I kid you not. So the man is saying that white fans want to see white players play with black players rather than watch black players play with black players. Don't white fans want the same thing that black fans want? To win?
Okay, I'm from the old school. I believe this. I would rather play with 10 people and just get penalized all the way until we got to do something else, rather than play with 11 when I know that right now that person is not sold out to be a part of this team. It is more about them than it is about the team. I cannot play with them, cannot win with them, cannot coach with them, can't do it. I want winners.
The man actually said no team should be all white and no team should be all black either. That's what bothers me about the NBA. You've got a situation here where blacks represent little more than 5% of the market, yet most teams are at least 75% black. And the New York Knicks are 100% black. Teams with that kind of makeup can't possibly draw from a suitable cross-section of fans, end of quote. What? Now, how chaotic was the team under his leadership?
His first move was firing the head coach at the time, Stan Albeck, and replacing him with Bill Musselman, a move that actually won him some favor with the fan base, which was rarely seen throughout his time with the team. But this wouldn't be the only time the head coaching position would experience turnover in his time as Cavs owner. Before his first season was even over, Musselman was fired and replaced by Don Delaney, who finished that season and started the next, but was fired just 28 games into it, and then was quickly replaced by Chuck Daly, who was quickly fired after just 41 games. So if you're counting at home, that's 4 different coaches fired in 3 seasons.
This was Ted's surprise for the day, releasing Musselman for a second time. Here's the man who took Musselman's spot at the head table, Tom Nisulke, late of the Utah Jazz, fired by that club in December, coming from the Las Vegas franchise in the CBA, and a one-time NBA and ABA Coach of the Year.
Why do you think they wanted you, Tom?
I think, to be candid, a lot of it gets down to availability. What people, if you're going to make a coaching change, what people are available.
Hey, this is Cleveland, after all, in the 80s before LeBron James joined the team. And after all, the man was a coach and he was available.
Our world.
Oh, look, this is Charlie Donovan of the Cleveland Indians. How would you like to manage the Indians this year?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? This is a chance to manage in the big leagues.
Let me think it over, will you, Charlie? I got a guy on the other line about some white walls. I'll talk to you later.
How incompetent? Well,
He decided to trade away the team's first-round picks in 1982, 1983, 1984, 1985, and 2 first-round picks in 1986. At the time, there was no rule against this, and as the owner, Stepian could run his franchise however he wanted to.
Hey, but at least he had more white players, which the white fans wanted, right?
Cavaliers owner Ted Stepian has been awfully concerned about a foot lately. Not the one that spends a lot of time in his mouth, but the one attached to one of his prized players. Scott Wedman has been out since December 1st, but now he's practicing and about ready.
And white players?
In the first year of Stepian's ownership, he traded the Cavs' 1982 first-rounder for Lakers guard Don Ford, who never averaged double-digit scoring in his entire career. That first-round pick would become James Worthy. So, yeah, that one didn't work out.
A white guard?
The team sent their 83, 84, 85, and 86 picks to the Mavericks. In exchange, they acquired Jerome Whitehead, Richard Washington, Mike Bratz, and Jeff Houston. Now, there's a slim chance you know any of those guys if you were born anytime past the 90s, and even if you were born in the 80s, you probably still don't know them.
Well, the team performed worse than before, drew even fewer fans. Eventually, the NBA pressured Stepien to sell, and they instituted what's called the Stepien rule to make sure no future owner is so stupid as to trade number 1 picks in consecutive years. This brings us to the second owner, Donald Sterling.
They tried to sue him when he first moved the team from San Diego to LA without permission. You know, I did this story before. Marge Schott of the Cincinnati Reds showed me a Nazi armband. She insulted blacks and Asians. She's really, I mean, Sterling is really just Marge Schott with larger breasts.
It's been almost a week since LA Clippers owner Donald Sterling came under fire for making those racist comments about African Americans and other minorities. Now, several NBA players, coaches, and other team owners are trying to force Mr. Sterling to sell his team.
TMZ has posted an audio of a conversation between a man they say is Sterling making racist remarks to his girlfriend. Here is some of that purported conversation.
People call you and tell you that I have black people on my Instagram, and it bothers you.
Yeah, it bothers me a lot that you want to broadcast that you're associating with black people.
I admire Magic Johnson.
Okay, good. I'm just saying that it's too bad you can't admire him privately and during your entire life, your whole life admired him. Bring him here, feed him, him. I don't care. You can do anything. But don't put him on Instagram so the world has to see, so they have to call me. And don't bring him into my games, okay?
Now, those alleged remarks by Sterling have caused an uproar across the sports world.
Effective immediately, I am banning Mr. Sterling for life.
You know, but in the years before his team was taken away from him, Donald Sterling said he wanted to win. As a result, his team was mostly black. His payroll was one of the highest in the league. He hired a black coach, Doc Rivers, 3 years, $21 million. Why? He may have been a bigot, but he wasn't a fool. He wanted to win. Booker T. Washington explains how and why in his book, Up From Slavery, written in 1901. Here's what he said. When a Negro girl learns to cook, to wash dishes, to sew, or to write a book, or a Negro boy learns to groom horses, or to grow sweet potatoes, or to produce butter, or to build a house, or to be able to practice medicine as well or better than someone else, they will be rewarded regardless of race or color. In the long run, the world is going to have the best, and any difference in race, religion, or previous history will not long keep the world from what it wants. No man who continues to add something to the material, intellectual, and moral well-being of the place in which he lives is long left without proper reward. This is a great human law which cannot be permanently nullified. End of quote. 2 NBA owners, both white, both bigoted, one extremely stupid. Emphasis, extremely. Now to Portland, where there have been protests and riots since the death of George Floyd and the shooting of Jacob Blake. This protester probably got a little bit more than he bargained for. I'm Larry Elder, and we've got a country to save. I'll see you next time. Yikes.